Assalamualaikum and greetings to our lecturer and fellow friends. We from Group 2 will be presenting about the topic of production cycle. I am Syarlene Nurliyana Binti Zakaria and my fellow members are Nurhalimah binti Omar Ali, Allyah Natasha binti Muhammad Azmi and Iffah Irdina binti Muhammad Rapheezal. The contents that we will be presenting in our topic today are introduction, in which overview about the production cycle. Next, we have part A and B, in which part A will explain about data flow diagram, DFD, relating to the production cycle. And for part B, we have two questions. The first question is about 4 basic activities in production cycle, and the second question is about threats during production cycle and the control procedures. Last but not least, we have
Production
our
cycle is the
conclusion.
process of converting raw materials into finished goods efficiently to meet the customer demand while controlling the cost and maintaining the production quality. There are 10 steps in production cycle. The first one is production design. The second one is production planning. The third one is scheduling. Number 4 is material requisition. Number 5, production operations. Number 6, quality control and inspection. Number 7, cost accounting. Number 8, inventory management. Number 9, finished goods storage. Number 10 includes delivery and performance evaluation. By having this step, it actually helps to produce the product efficiently, meet the quality standards, and the last one is able to be delivered on time to the customers.
Now, I will be explaining the part A of the data flow diagram of Yesa Textiles Sdn Bhd. The first step is to prepare the master production schedule. Here, the production manager will review the customer order, information from the sales department, together with the inventory levels of ready-made clothes from the inventory files. So based on this information, the master production schedule is prepared and then stored in the master production file. So, by reviewing customers' orders and inventory levels, the company can prepare a more accurate production schedule and reduce the risk of overproductions or underproductions. Moving on, step 2 is to determine the raw materials required, where information from step 1, which is the master production schedule, is used. Based on this information, the company identifies the type and quantity of raw materials needed for production. So this data is then used to prepare the bills of materials to determine the immediate raw materials requirements and are filed accordingly.
Next, for the third step, we have requests for material needed. In this stage, there are 3 copies of material requisition forms, in which each of these will be transferred to purchasing department and storeroom department. By sending forms to both of these departments, management can ensure that no single department have full control of the asset. Purchasing department will handle the authorization and purchasing of asset, while the storeroom department will hold the physical custody of the material. This will reduce the risk of fraud and theft. One of the copy will be filed in the material requisition file, and this may establish a permanent audit trail where it will allow independent verification later on. Auditor can cross-reference the forms filed in the file with the actual stock from the storeroom, along with the purchase orders issued by the purchasing department. After that, the storeroom department will transfer the production material to the next step, which is the actual production. Only then will the production begin. If the management wants to request for any additional materials, the request shall be documented in the bills of material, BOM. Since BOM record how much material needed in the production process, additional material are to be recorded there to prevent any misappropriation where employees may request for additional material for their own interests. If extra material needed are not recorded or documented, then it will be hard for management to calculate the accurate and actual product costs. Once the production complete, one job time ticket will be sent to the accounting department to calculate the total wages of the production employees. The information then will be filed in the payroll file. Next, the completed products which are the ready-made clothes, will be packed individually and stored in a designated and structured container first before being sent to the warehouse. This is to safeguard them, the clothes, from any spoilage and damage during the transit to the warehouse. The clothes will be stored based on their design and colors. So, when the clothes are being stored based on these specific attributes, it is easier for supervisor to perform physical inventory counts, especially if the supervisors count based on batch verification. Then the supervisor can detect any discrepancies and errors on the batch.
We move to part B. There are 4 basic activities in production cycle. The first one is production design. It is to design a product that actually meets the customer requirements for quality, durability, and also functionality, as well as minimizing the cost. This activity actually produce 2 types of documents, which is bills of materials. It actually lists the type of components and also the quantities of raw material needed. The second one is operation list. It specifies the sequence of steps and also the machinery required to produce the product. Then we move to number 2, which is production planning and scheduling. It is to develop the production plan efficient enough to meet the existing order and anticipated short-term demand while preventing excess finished goods inventory. It also analyzing the customer orders from sales and current stock levels to create master production schedule and also a production order.
The third step is the production operations. This step is the actual physical manufacture of goods produced. Raw materials are issued from the storeroom using material requisition forms. Then workers use specialized machinery to shape it, cut, pack, and also label the aluminum beverage cans. During this stage, labor hours are captured to monitor the efficiency of productivity. Manufacturing overhead is also calculated. Last but not least is the final activity, which is the process of cost accounting. Based on Olajide et al. 2023, this step involves collecting, processing, and analyzing financial data related to the manufacturing process. It provides accurate cost data for product pricing so management can control data to flag any variances. In this stage, cost accounting also manages inventory valuations.
Moving on next is the question 2, the threat analysis and appropriate control procedures.
So now, I will explain the risk of theft of inventories. The weakness is that production workers can enter the storeroom and take materials without supervision. This means there is no proper control over who takes the inventory. The threat is that workers may remove material without any records, causing inventory to go missing or be stolen. This can lead to financial losses and inaccurate inventory records. To reduce this risk, the procedure control is to restrict access to the storeroom and warehouse to authorized personnel only. For example, the company can use locked doors, access card, keys, or fingerprint scanners. This helps ensure that only approved employees can enter and take inventory. It can help to reducing the chance of theft.
So next is theft of fixed asset. So the weakness identified is the lack of restricted access to fixed asset where employees are able to enter production facility and access machinery without proper authorization. So this will increase the risk of theft because employees or even the outsiders may gain access and remove fixed asset without being detected. So to address this issue, the company should implement strict physical access controls by requiring employees to use their electronic access cards or scanner before entering the facilities. So with this, it will ensure that only authorized workers can access facility and help reduce the risk of theft. For suboptimal investment in fixed asset, this is due to lack of proper fixed asset evaluation and supervision system by the company. So it means that the investment was made without any proper assessment. So as a result, the company may invest in unsuitable or unnecessary fixed asset. To reduce this risk, the company should implement capital budgeting techniques technique such as net present value to determine the profitability of fixed asset investment.
Next, I will explain the risk of disruption of operations. The weakness is that machines are not maintained regularly. Without proper maintenance, machine can suddenly break down and interrupt the production process. The truth is that machine breakdowns may stop production, delay customer orders, increase repair costs, and reduce customer satisfaction. To reduce this risk, the company should schedule regular maintenance for all machines. Regular maintenance helps keep the machines in good condition, reduce unexpected downtime, and ensures production continues smoothly. In conclusion, proper machine maintenance reduces the risk of operational disruptions and help the company operate more efficiently. To conclude, a strong production cycle helps the company convert raw materials into finished products efficiently and deliver them to customers on time. However, weak internal control can cause inventory theft, poor investment decisions, damage to fixed asset, and production delays. To reduce this risk, the company should restrict access to the storeroom, protect fixed assets, evaluate investment using NPV, and schedule regular machine maintenance. Overall, this control helps reduce risk, lower costs, improve efficiency, and ensure the production process runs smoothly while supporting the company's long-term success.
These are references that helping us to complete this group project. That's all from us. Thank you very much.